So, PhD students have all sorts of struggles that they're dealing with. Us professors deal with this as well. We're going through all sorts of stuff. It's such a mental game when you're going through the process and figuring out research. There's lots of different struggles that they have. So, for example, you might be thinking about finances. If you're going in a good institution, you generally don't have to think about too much finances, but they don't get paid a heck of a lot. In fact, often it's below the poverty line at many institutions, which is crazy to me. But that's the reality of what everybody signs up for, and that's not changing anytime soon. You also have a lot of struggles with trying to keep up with the workloads. There's all sorts of stuff with the workloads. There's lots and lots of work. There's always more work to be done. But I think the most important thing is being good to yourself and realizing that, hey, you know what? I'm okay and I'm a decent person and I don't have to keep up with everybody else in terms of who they are and what they're about. The whole process is this giant social comparison game of everybody being ranked and everybody saying that they're so much better than everybody else. So there's this whole game that's, if you just simply talk to anybody that is in the academic research game, they're all bragging, they're all telling you where they are, and it's hard to find normal people. And once you discover that there is a couple of normal people, then you kind of gravitate towards them, but most people are not like that. So, how do you deal with these PhD struggles? You really have to just come back to yourself and be okay with who you are. Instead of thinking about, I need to be here and I need to go here and I'm not good enough in any sort of way, I just think about hey, this is who I am. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get up. I'm going to get a little bit of exercise. I'm going to go do my work. I'm going to eat. And then, I might do a little bit more exercise in the evening, do a little bit of studying with my kids, and go to bed. And that's my entire day. And if I focus on just that process of this is what I am and this is what I'm about, and there's these little tiny slow movements through the whole thing, then I forget about the rest of the stuff. The rest of the stuff is just nonsense. It's all a game. Once you realize everything, the whole thing is a game, you stop paying attention to it all. Or at least you pull back a little bit more. And you could see I still pay attention to this. I'm 20 years into it at this moment. I've done a heck of a lot. I've, just worked and worked and worked. And I was that person that thought that I would be the superstar and, all well-known and all this kind of stuff for my research and all of this nonsense, right? That's just total nonsense. So I worked really hard, right? I almost double majored in my PhD. The only reason I didn't do my comps in finance. There's just lots of stuff, and I was pushing towards things, and eventually I got to the point where I was wait a minute, this is crazy. The rest of the world is telling me that I need to be with them, and the rest of the world being, my wife, my family, and all of those people are telling me that, that they matter, and they do. And that's when you have to come to a conclusion, is you realize that, wait a minute, this stuff that I'm doing right here, it's not the important part of anything, right? This work thing, it doesn't matter. What matters is the fact that you're a good person, you're deep down inside doing okay, and you're walking towards being a better person every day. And the rest of it, the whole game of I need to publish and all of that kind of stuff, it's a game. The whole thing is a game. And I need to get to this status because if I don't get here, everything is going to turn purple or I'm going to turn into a pumpkin or whatever, right? All of that nonsense, it's a game. And if you get there today or you get there tomorrow, it's all the same stuff. And it's all the same process. So I think if you just kind of take a step back, relax, go for a walk every once in a while, just enjoy it. Enjoy the process, enjoy who you are, and say hi every once in a while. I think that is the important thing. At least that's the important thing for me, and hopefully it's the important thing for you, is that you begin to take a step back and detach from the rest of the world And if people are pushing on you, and I know it's easy for me to say this at this moment because you're thinking, people are pushing me to do this, and I need to do this, and everybody else is so much further ahead than me. Practice. Practice taking a step back. Practice saying, hey, you know what? They're all playing a game. The whole thing is a game. And if I just take those steps forward every day and I forget about the rest of the world, I'm going to do just fine as it is. And you know what? Here's the thing, right? You do your steps forward and you keep taking those steps forward and you don't get to where you're going to go to. Guess what? You're a talented human being that has done a lot of stuff. That makes you extremely valuable in the outside world. Now you have to change yourself and you have to change how to market yourself and all of those kind of things. But once you get to the point where you can say, screw you, and I can go do something else, that's when things start changing, right? When you start realizing you're not stuck, you're not in this dead end thing, you really are a talented person, you truly are, you wouldn't be there. That's when you can say, screw you, and walk forward and be okay with who you are and have that confidence of, wait a minute, I'm actually really talented. Like, this is insane to feel this way, right? To feel the fact that you're struggling and doing all that kind of stuff. That's nonsense. Like, for me, right? Like, I think about this. I need to recalibrate every once in a while. I think about this a lot, right? Like, I'm a freaking engineer with like many different degrees behind my name. I could walk away at any time and I could say screw you to the rest of the world. I don't need to be treated in any sort of way, or I don't need to walk that certain walk that everybody says. This was really interesting. This was a big, I remember about 5 years ago talking to this very prestigious economist, very, very talented, done extremely well. And she comes up to me and we had a conversation and she said, you could say no if you want to. You don't have to do that. And I was like, wait a minute, like, there's truth to that. There's a lot of power to say screw you to the rest of the world, right? Just to say, you know what, I don't need to do that. I don't need to be part of all of that kind of stuff. And she quietly walked away and did her thing after that. And it stuck with me when you see this, that confidence that you have. And a lot of people that have done very well in their career, they all have that confidence, that quiet confidence deep down inside that, hey, I'm good enough. I don't have to worry about everybody else. And once you get to that point where you have that quiet confidence, hey, good things come. Because you have something inside of you that the rest of the world can't destroy and they can't take away. I think you need to remember that. You have something inside of you that is important, that's special, that's good, and nobody else can take that away. And you have to work on that. What that is for you is different for everybody, but I think you can work on it and do really well. So remember that. You're not struggling at this moment. There's no way that you're struggling because you're too talented to struggle. You're actually really very much excelling and you're doing well. And you have to come back and realize, I'm just going to walk in today, do my thing, do my work, and walk out. I'm going to have a nice dinner tonight, enjoy myself, maybe get a little bit of exercise, and that's my day. And the rest of it, tell them, screw you. That's it. That's the game. Have that quiet confidence, be able to say, screw you, I'm good enough, I'm talented. All right, take care, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.